a friend of mine, and he's really great. He's wonderful.
And that's going to be a moment in musical history, the very last musical performance at Shea, and that began with the Beatles in 1965.
I was at the Gucci party the other night. I saw Billy Joel. He invited me to be his guest. I will be there.
Wait a second. How come you always get invited to be people's guests?
I don't know.
You never have to pay for anything.
Sounds
And
like
you know
free
everybody.
tickets to me, I think.
Yes,
it sounds like a couple of free tickets.
No, if he says, come and be my guest, that means free tickets.
It probably means backstage, too.
Yeah, but
He's a great guy, and he looks great.
yeah, but let's be real here. Come on. I'm not being critical of your lifestyle or anything. I mean, I'm envious of it. But it just seems that when you're really wealthy, you don't have to pay for anything.
Not for anything.
Well, I go to restaurants, and so often I laugh about it. Mr. Trump, it's on me, the owner. Mr. Trump, it's on me. Now, I know if I needed the money, I'd have to pay.
Right.
It's unfair.
It is very unfair. But I hope you make up for the free meal by generously tipping the wait staff.
Well, and I give a lot of money to charity, so I make up for it in that way too, Jim. So
Okay, well,
that's good.
What does a billionaire do for Valentine's Day?
Work.
No, but what are you doing for Melania?
Yeah, that's what we mean.
Well, I haven't given it a lot of thought. You know, we have a nice relationship. I don't think, but I did get a card. Now, don't ask me if I walked out and bought the card myself. But maybe I'll get her something at my new Gucci store in Trump Tower.
You did not pick out the card yourself. That's a mortal
No, it's
sin.
terrible.
That's
Isn't
a
it
sin.
terrible when you send a secretary to go pick a card?
Oh.
That's horrible. I can't believe you did that. Oh,
They
that you
go
admit
get a
it.
card, a really nice card, and they'll bring back like 3 or 4 cards, and I'll choose the one I like the best. That's terrible. Please don't tell Melania I do that.
But the fact that you
The
actually...
millions of viewers and listeners, don't tell Melania that I do that.
But the fact that they actually bring a selection and you choose one...
That's right.
That slightly mitigates the situation.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't?
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
They don't fill it out for you, though.
And the new Gucci store, which is in your building...
Right.
I mean,
Just opened.
Yes, I know. They've got, as a matter of fact, they're in a legal dispute with the state of New York over
Well, not really.
the
I
state's
mean, in all fairness,
over the I Love New York logo.
Yeah, but they give 100% of the money made. They made this beautiful bag, and they give 100% of the money they make back to New York. I think it's the Parks Department, and so it's really not a dispute.
But I mean, but even though no doubt they have beautiful merchandise in the Gucci store, couldn't you go farther than a store in your own building?
I like to support people that support me. You know, in other words, why would I go to somebody else? I like Tiffany. I bought the air rights over Tiffany, so I like Tiffany. I love Gucci.
Right, because they're a tenant. I understand.
Anything having to do with me one way or the other. You know, it's like, and it's convenient. It's like, go downstairs and buy a bag.
Right in the elevator.
But
You don't
wait
even
a
have to
minute.
leave the
You
building.
never have to go outside.
Are you doing the shopping, or do you have a designated shopper for this, too?
No, for the bags, I do the shopping.
Oh, okay.
Actually. In fact, I went in there the other day with Ivanka, and I said, I love that bag. Look at it. It is really gorgeous. That is beautiful. And I said let me see that bag. I said, how much is it? They said $28,000, Mr. Trump. I said, I don't like that bag so much.
Even you.
I did not buy it for her.
Now, when you were a kid,
I wanted to buy her a little present, you know.
When you were a kid,
Yes.
even though you came from a successful family,
Right.
successful, hardworking family, your dad did not allow you to live like a spoiled rich kid.
No. When I went in, I wanted to get a baseball mitt. They used to call them a mitt. Today they call them a glove, I guess. But I wanted to get a baseball mitt, and I went into a store called De Viga. Did you ever hear of De Viga? Years ago in Jamaica. Jamaica on Jamaica Avenue with my father. And I said, how much is that one to the salesman? And the salesman said, you know better than I do. You've been here 5 times. Why do you ask me that question in front of my father? I wanted the most expensive glove, but he wouldn't buy it for me. He bought me another glove.
But the fact that you do remember what it was like to be somewhat normal.
Oh no, I totally remember. It's all very fragile.
Is a great thing.
Hey Jim, our ratings, your ratings, my ratings, we're doing great, right? But you know what? Who knows what happens? It's all very fragile.
Yeah.
You're talking to the wrong one here, like talking negative.
I don't think
Mr.
that's
Trump.
fragile for. I think for you, ratings come automatic. Don't you think so? It's an automatic.
I've had my ups and downs.
You have?
Sure.
I'm surprised. With that golden voice of yours.
But the point that I was making is that even though in terms of your ability to purchase things today,
right,
even though that ability that you have far surpasses that of most mortal men,
yes,
there was a time in your life when that wasn't always true, and that is a part of who you are. That was just the point I was
You're
making.
absolutely right, and I fully understand it, and I think people know that I understand it.
Because I know that your late father, Fred,
right,
who everybody says was a wonderful guy, I know that he tried to bring you up as a normal person that would have an appreciation for success.
That's true. In that way, he was successful with me. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate success. I know how hard it is to be successful. You have to work hard. You have to be smart. You have to do the right thing. You have to make the right moves. But I do appreciate, a lot of things in life.
Okay, and
I respect that.
The Roger Clemens thing. Did you watch it?
I did.
So who do you believe?
Well, I know him very well, and I guess I'm from the old school. For one thing, I think Andy Pettit is a rat. I don't like it.
Wow.
I mean, they were good friends. Why would Andy Pettit have to say anything? Why does he have to say? What does he have to? He could say, "Hey, that's their business." What does he have to get involved for? So I'm very upset with Andy Pettit. I am no longer a fan. I was always a fan of Andy Pettit. I think he should not have interjected himself. The other guy is a bad guy. Anybody that would save syringes, what kind of a person is this? This is like, saving the dress, the famous saving of the dress.
Oh, right. But
wait a minute.
No, but anybody that would save syringes and save the blood and everything else, he's got something in the mind, whether it's blackmail or something else. So he, in my opinion, is total scum. I probably think Roger did it, but I also think that these people that he surrounded himself with, especially this trainer, is absolutely bad news.
Okay, so you see, I guess I am the last person on earth who believes that Roger Clemens didn't do it.
Yeah.
Well,
I believe he didn't do it.
He probably did. And what do you do if the syringes turn out to be positive?
Well, he got B12 shots.
That's right. Well, that was maybe the idea of him coming up with the B12 idea, come to think of it.
But with Andy Pettit, I mean, you expect him to lie in a deposition?
Not to lie. I expect him to say nothing.
But if you're asked the question,
I don't like a rat. And they were good friends. I used to watch them hugging each other in the dugout, working out together all the time. He didn't have to interject himself.
Okay, quick. The Apprentice tonight.
The Apprentice tonight is going to be fantastic. As you know, it continues to do great. We've been renewed for 2 years.
Yep, congratulations. And there's
not 1, 2 years. And I will tell you, and I'll read you a list maybe next week. Everybody wants to be on next season's Celebrity Apprentice. We're getting calls from everybody, so it's going to be an amazing show.
And you lead into a new show too.
And we're doing much better than that new show that we lead into, Lipstick Jungle.
Right.
And they spent a fortune on advertising it, and we went. We got great ratings last week, and
I know they lost a big percentage of the lead-in.
They lost a big percentage of those ratings. In other words, we let in and did very well, and then they lost those percent. I don't know what's going to happen. It seems that those knockoffs of Sex and the City aren't doing particularly well. But
the other one is Kashmir or something.
Kashmir's Mafia.
Kashmir Mafia, right.
And that one has totally bombed. I think Lipstick.
Yeah, one is Candace Bushnell, and the other's.
I love NBC.
Yeah, one's Candace Bushnell.
Right.
And the other one's
Lipstick
the creators.
Jungle, and the other one's Darren Star.
Right.
So let's see what happens. But I know The Apprentice did really well, and then the ratings went down after The Apprentice went off. So it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Okay, but what are we looking forward to tonight?
Well, tonight is a very tough Omarosa episode. It's a very tough Baldwin episode. They get into fights that you wouldn't believe, you wouldn't believe. And there's somebody on the star that's really emerging as a star, Piers. He is a rough, tough guy.
Is that the British guy?
I don't like him.
Yeah, the British guy. Well,
I don't
a lot
like
of people
him.
don't like him, but I will tell you, he's a brilliant guy. And he gets into a fight with Omarosa that I don't think I've ever seen anything like it on television. It's unbelievable. So it's a great show tonight, and your show continues to do very well, so I'm very happy for both of us.
All right. Well, happy Valentine's Day to you and yours.
You too. I'll go check out the card now.
Okay, we'll talk to you next week.
So long.
You do sign it yourself, don't you?
I do sign it myself.
All right.
That I do.
Q1043 News and Traffic. Here's Shelli Sonstein.
And we are so happy it's Thursday.